song Hometown Superstar grew out of an incident that I had at my place back in the middle 90s. And this song was written for our local fire department, and I guess it can apply to any fire department. I think that those guys are true heroes, and it was the reason that I put the song together for them.
He's awakened in the dead of night by a sound he don't want to hear. Emergency in the town, the fireman's worst fear. A child is hurt, a house on fire, or someone's crashed a car. He's headed out with all his might. He's your hometown superstar. She wraps her arms around him.
Well, New Year's Eve, we got a phone call from our alarm system at 10:58 p.m. There had been a fire. We were prepared for the worst, that the house would be limbed, gone, burned right out. So when we pull up, we see the fire trucks, the whole street is lit up. Fireworks are going off, literally, and there's fire trucks and there's cop cars, and and our house is still standing. So right away it was like, oh, that's a relief. And I chatted with the captain. He said, I'm your neighbor, right? I'm like, no. He's like, I just live right there. He said, I got the call. He said, and we're all at a party. We gathered up as many as we could here. He said, we got about 6 to 8, and he said, you're very lucky. He said, we saved your house. It was amazing, for what they do. I don't think they're recognized and appreciated enough, and I don't think people really maybe understand exactly what they do and how courageous and they're risking their lives every day. I thank them so much.
Volunteer firefighters is probably one of the most honourable professions that anybody can partake in.
The life lessons you learn, the people you meet, everything is just the best, awesome.
We're one big, happy family doing a job that needs to be done.
It's a way of giving back to your community.
It's the most gratifying feeling that you could ever experience, especially when you're able to touch someone on the shoulder and say that you did the best you could and everything worked out fine.
The fire service in Newfoundland and Labrador today is evolving. Many of the 300 fire departments that we have were initially established as a result of an incident that occurred in the community, typically a house fire resulting in the loss of the home, or a fire where we actually had deaths and injuries occur. What has evolved, of course, with the fire service, not just in Newfoundland and Labrador, but throughout the country, is its evolution over into an emergency service beyond the scope of just delivering fire protection. Today, the fire service are involved in vehicle accidents and vehicle extrication, water rescue, high-angle rescue, hazardous materials incidents, the transportation of dangerous goods throughout Newfoundland and Labrador. One could suggest that just calling it your fire department is probably not the correct name anymore. It's really the emergency services of a particular community. So once the firefighter assumes this responsibility and role, then how does he prepare himself to render those services to a reasonable standard or an acceptable standard? And this is where the role of training comes into play in our province. And training is critical.
When you hear the word volunteer, sometimes you think that, it's not professional, or that, it's a different level than you have to be for professionalism. And boy, was I was taken back by that a lot, because the Fire Commissioner's office put off a 2-day basic fire training course, which you had to start with. And everything from extrication, taking cars apart, to interior fire attacks, searching a building for casualty. It was incredible, and basic stuff that I didn't know, like fire extinguisher use and using the hoses. So it was pretty awe-inspiring and overwhelming, really.
The training programs that you will take part in are recognized internationally as certified programs. It's a great opportunity for you to learn not only firefighting skills, but many other skills that come behind it, such as computer skills, hydraulics, driver training, first aid.